boy. Okay. So this this morning, let's start this morning when we're recording this and practicing live. Let's start in a cross-legged seated position. You can just pick a leg to put in front. If you feel any stress, any tightness in your hips, as always, maybe just let your legs come out a little bit further from the hips, or you can grab a couch cushion, a block, a blanket, whatever, and sit up on that to prop your hips up a little bit. And once you get to that seated position, rest your hands just palms facing down and pull your shoulders kind of up and back. So almost like maybe it feels like you're leaning back just a teensy bit. And if in that position, top of the head up high, take a deep, full breath in. Open up your mouth and really truly see if you can just release on that exhale. So like maybe or whatever you need on that exhale. Or I can see my mom drinking her coffee. Maybe that also kind of acts as an exhale. But just 2 more times, full deep breath in, top of the head up high. And when you exhale, like just see if you can let go of whatever is kind of on the inside here. And one more round on your own. And if your eyes are closed, just open them up and do a little bit of work to decompress the spine and hopefully just release stress in general this morning. So again, whatever time you're doing this, take a deep breath in and just reach your left arm up, lift your chest up. And then when you exhale, you can take your left hand towards the outside of the right leg and twist. Look over the right shoulder. All right, gentle twist to start. I saw a quote about how external stress is an indication of like internal issues. And in my house this week, we've done a lot of traveling, and then my husband did a lot of traveling. And my house this week, I'm like, what are you talking about? All of my stress is caused by external factors. It's all things that other people are doing. Slowly just come back to center. And nice deep breath in, reach the right arm up, lift your chest, sit up tall. And then exhale, right hand to the opposite side, right hand towards left knee, and look over the left shoulder. Just every time you exhale, see if you can push hand into leg, twist, and just release a little more. Yeah. And friends, as you join, if you can just hit the mute button, otherwise the recording will pick you up, which is also totally cool, but just so you know. And next time you come back to center, reach both arms up high, lift your chest. And when you exhale, you're just gonna bow straight forward and release. So I've been thinking all of my stress this week is caused by external factors. I'm gonna say it even though I'm recording this, namely my children. Yeah. But as you know, those are things we can't control, whether it be kids, jobs, our most important relationships, the relationships we'd rather not have, but we have to have, right? All that stuff. We cannot control those other people or things. And take just enough effort to lift up your chest and then switch out your legs, please. And so we're focusing on really what we can control, just whatever leg was in front, put the opposite leg in front. Yeah, and take a nice deep inhale. Reach your arms out like you're giving yourself a backwards hug. So you're gonna pull your chest forward and the arms back to open up. And then when you exhale, bring the right arm underneath the left, and you can either give yourself a hug here, or if you're warm enough, bring the backs of the hands or palms of the hands together, eagle arms. Right, big breath. Yeah, so focusing on the things you can control, When you inhale, maybe see if you can lift your elbows up a little more. And then when you exhale, can you drop your shoulder blades down and perhaps send your pinkies forward? If your hands are together, backs to hands or palms, can you send your pinkies forward away from the face and create for yourself a deeper stretch in the back of the spine, right? And take just enough effort to unwind that big backwards hug, open up, and then other arm underneath. So left arm under. And again, you can give yourself a hug, backs and hands together or palms of the hands together. Sit up tall, top of the head high, lift the elbows, inhale. And if you have the hands interlaced or not interlaced, but palms or back hands together, send the pinkies forward again and try to release the shoulder blades down either way. Yeah. All right, big full breath. And then just unwind the arms, full breath in, reach your arms way up high. And when you exhale again, fold forward. Right from the hip crease here, just like almost like a surrender of the whole upper body, or it is a surrender of the whole upper body. Just drop your chest, let your head fall heavy. If you notice you're holding yourself up, like you're kind of trying to negotiate this fold, if I let myself go, and I feel it a little more in the hips, see if you can let go of that business and just soften through the elbows. Drop your chest, release your abdominal muscles, your head, all the muscles in your face. Just let it go. And I let it go. Today we practice not holding on to things we can't control. And take just enough effort to come back to seated. Lift your chest and find your way to the back of your mat, please, to a kneeling position. Kneeling position. Just come all the way to the back of the mat. Hands right next to your feet. And take a big breath in and pull your chest forward and up, kind of like you're doing not cat pose, but that other one. Yeah, chest forward, look up high, big breath in. And when you exhale, rabbit pose. Now, we might not be super warm, so take this slowly. Bring your chin to your chest. And then see if you could drop your head, like forehead to the mat, as close to your knees as you can get. So you're looking right back at your knees. As you drop your forehead to the mat, lift your hips up. And you can go ahead and grab right onto your heels if you can. Just lifting the hips up as much as you can without forcing it, stretching the back of the spine. Yeah, one more big breath in. And then exhale, gently lower the hips and lift your chest back up to center. All right, fill up your lungs and just reach your arms up high here. And then when you exhale, lower the right hand down to the right and reach your left arm up and over to the right. So you get a big side body stretch in the left side. Try to lower your left hip all the way down, your left bum all the way down to the left heel. And then this is a little funky, but give this a go. Nothing changes except just slide your hips to the left until your bum comes off the left heel and onto the ground. So you're just increasing that stretch in the lower back, hopefully, a little bit. Yeah, inhale back to center. Bring your bum back to center. Bring your arms up high. And then exhale, other side. Lower the left hand down to the left and reach your right arm up and over to the left, side body stretch. And drop the shoulder blades. And we're going for decompression today. Can you just let your hips drop to the right? All right. Keep reaching that right hand up and over to the left. Yeah. All right. Inhale back to center. This time, reach your arms way up high, lift your hips, lift your chest to open up. And then when you exhale, like you're doing child's pose with airplane arms. Just swing the arms back behind you and lower your forehead and your hips all the way down. Take a big breath in and shift forward to a tabletop position and extend your right leg back behind you. So tabletop, right leg goes straight back. Breathe. Yeah, so you can turn the right toes down towards the ground, internal rotation of that right knee. So right knee's going in towards the left leg. Full breath in, right heel back. And exhale, shift your chest forward. Bring your right knee to the right elbow. Really shift forward, forward, forward with your chest. Try to make that connection knee to elbow. Next time you inhale, come back to that tabletop, right leg high. And this time when you exhale, right foot to the outside of the right hand, find your lizard. So right foot to the outside of the right hand. Let your hips just release, decompress, exhale, like Hips stay low, right? No effort there. But just tuck your left toes and lift your left thigh up. Yeah, stay in that lizard pose, breathe. Just want to do 3 circles. Drop your hips down to the right and up and over to the left. And I do 2 more like that. Inhale, hips up, exhale to the left and down. Making 1 more, like the biggest circle you can from the hips. And then just do the same thing in the opposite direction. So send hips left, send them high, send them right and down, yeah. All right, 2 more times. 1 more round. You're just right back in your lizard. Plant your hands flat on the ground. Yeah, push into all of the fingers. Keep sending your chest forward, but when you inhale, kick the right leg back. So you're in this one-legged plank. Yeah. All right, we switch things up. I'm throwing the stress at you, right? Take a big breath in here. And when you exhale, lower down to a low plank if you can keep the right leg up. Yeah, then lower the right leg down. Cobra pose. So walk your hands a little further back towards your hips. We'll do this variation of cobra. Push into the tops of the feet and the hands and lift up. So it almost looks like up dog. Hands back towards the hips, push down, lift up, inhale. Pull your belly button up towards your spine. Ooh, push all the way back to child's pose to exhale. Inhale, tabletop, left leg back behind you and just breathe. Try to push through the heel. Yeah. So internal rotation again, left toes down, left knee in. Create length, chest forward, push back, breathe in. And when you exhale, left knee to left elbow, shift forward. Yeah, chest forward, nice. And inhale, reach back. Tabletop, left leg high. And exhale, lizard, left foot to the outside of the left hand. You might naturally come up onto your fingertips. That's cool. I'm gonna let your hips drop. Down and forward. Left knee, squeeze it in towards the left shoulder. And lengthen chest forward. And tuck the right toes. Lift your right thigh up. And take those 3, hopefully juicy circles. You can go down and over to the left, up and over to the right. Yeah. Inhale when you lift, exhale when you lower. I'm gonna do 1 more big circle here. And then switch to the other side. It can be really hard not to control or to try to control because we're really just trying to control. Really hard not to try to control the things that we actually can't control. Yeah. Lizard pose. Yeah, plant the hands flat if you can get them there. Push down into the hands. Inhale, kick your left leg back. One-legged plank. Take another breath in. And exhale to a low plank. Lower the left foot. Walk your hands back towards the hips. Lift the chest, cobra, inhale. And then exhale, push it all back. To child's pose. Inhale, just come right up onto your hands and knees, tabletop. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Tuck the toes, pull the hips back, breathe. Last night, my kids were having like full-fledged tantrums. Push your hands down and forward, pull the hips back. If you don't know, I live in a townhouse, like walls connected by 2 other houses, another family, and like a bunch of early career like kids basically. And they're my kids having tantrums and screaming. I'm like, oh my gosh, the neighbors can hear it. And I'm doing everything I can to try to control my kids. And guess what that did? It just made it worse. Totally worse. And take a breath in, rise up to the balls of your feet, heels up high. Exhale, bend the knees, pull your hips back, really empty out your breath. And then walk your feet to your hands. Just walk your feet forward to your hands. Ragdoll pose. So feet hips width distance apart, and you can just stick two fists between your feet to measure that, give or take. Bring your fingers to opposite elbows, and then really bend your knees like a lot. Bend your knees enough that you can just rest your upper body onto your legs, like drape your torso over the legs. And other than fingers to opposite elbows, can you just let everything else go? Surrender. And my random point about my kids last night is that it wasn't until I finally just gave up and surrendered. Like, I can't control this. And I swear it was almost instantaneous. When I stopped trying to control them, they were like, okay, we're good. And they stopped having their meltdowns. Who knew? Who knew it was coming? If I had only surrendered a little bit earlier, I thought. Like anything else, it's a practice though, right? So if you catch yourself trying to control those situations that you really can't control, and as we humans often do, it's just a practice. Oh, here I am trying to control. Can I? Can I let go? What would happen if I just acknowledge that I don't have control over this thing anyway, and just maybe exhale and release? Just a practice. Anyway, lower the hands down. Toe heel your big toes all the way together to touch. And just push down, big toes, little toes, center of the heels, belly button to spine. As you push down slowly, roll up to stand. All the way up to stand, yeah. Push into your feet, take a big breath in, reach both arms way up high. And when you exhale, lower the left hand down to the left, reach the right arm up and over to the left. So take that, excuse me, side body stretch. And then we've done this before. Take the side body stretch, push into the center of the heels, bend your knees, and see if you can crawl your left hand down a little bit closer to your left foot. Yeah, without leaning forward, without leaning backwards. Push into the feet, inhale, come back to center, reach way up tall. And then other side, exhale, lower the right hand down the right leg, crawl the right hand down the right leg as you reach your left arm up and over to the right. When you really can't reach anymore, push into the center of the heels, bend both knees. Reach, 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 yeah. All right, push into both feet. Inhale, reach up high. And when you exhale, hinge from the hips forward, fold, reach the arms back around behind you. If it feels all right, interlace the fingers. Reach your knuckles up to the sky. And then just lower the hands down, take a big breath in, half lift, draw your chest forward. Exhale, bend the knees, give it a go, high to low plank. High to low, any way you want to get there. Up dog this time, send your hips forward, lift your chest high. And then downward facing dog. Drop to the knees or not. Tuck the toes, hips back. Ah, great. Inhale the right leg high, stretch way up and back. And this time, exhale, right knee to nose. Shift your shoulders over your wrists. Yeah. Puff the shoulder blades up. Create some space to move that knee in. Inhale, reach high. And then exhale, knee to nose. This time, look forward. Step the right foot through between the hands. All right, yeah, low lunge. Nice. So right knee over right ankle. If it's not over it, if it's in front of it, you're just going to walk the right foot forward a little bit. And then lift your torso and your arms up. All right, crescent lunge. And take a big breath in that crescent lunge. And when you exhale, hinge forward, airplane arms. Push the palms into the air and lift your chest. And a big breath. Next, inhale, reach your arms up high again. And when you exhale, like you're just decompressing, twisting out, letting it go. Left hand forward, reach the right hand back. Yep. Left hand forward, right hand back to twist. Start to crawl the right hand down the back leg and lift your left arm and chest up high. Exalted warrior. Really big breath in right there. And exhale, warrior two, spin the left foot. Expand the arms all the way open. Just drop the shoulder blades. Find those places where you can create space, where you can let go. Push into the right foot, lengthen out the right leg. I'm just going to turn the right foot parallel to the left so you're facing the long edge of your mat. Big inhale from there, reach up way high to the sky. And when you exhale, horse stance, heels in, toes out. Yeah, eagle arms. Let's do left arm underneath the right. Lift the elbows, bend the wrists forward. Just take a big breath in, lift your chest, lift the pinkies. And when you exhale, hinge from the hips, bow forward, just drop the upper body. Stay in this stance, but drop the upper body. Yeah. I'm not saying that the stressors will go away completely when we work on the internal, but we give ourselves the tools to respond mindfully to them instead of like me last night, just stop yelling, calm down, the neighbors are gonna hear, right? Totally not helpful. We give ourselves the tools to respond more mindfully when we practice. Yeah, keep the hips low, just slowly lift your elbows back up, chest back up, back to your horse stance. And then unwind the arms and lower the hands. So the hands are resting kind of like to the thighs here. And just a simple drop of your right shoulder down, look to the left. And then come back to center. Drop the left shoulder down and look to the right. Come back to center. Push into both feet, feet parallel. Reach up high. Inhale. Exhale back to warrior two. Right toes forward. Expand on open. Yeah. And take a breath in to reverse. Peaceful warrior. Crawl the left hand down. Reach the right arm high. When you exhale, anywhere you want to go here, right? Open up dog to stretch the front of the body, and then send yourself back, down dog to stretch the back. And exhale. Inhale, left leg high, take that big reach and stretch. And then exhale, left knee to nose, shoulders over wrist, shift forward. Big full breath in, left leg high. Huge exhale, low lunge, look forward to step all the way through. So find your crescent lunge on the ball of your back foot, drop your hips, lift your torso and the arms up. Right, hip bones forward as you pull the shoulders back. Full deep breath in, reach up. Exhale, hinge forward, airplane arms, push palms into the air. Ooh, and lift your chest. That really works, by the way. Push palms into the air. And then if it feels like there's a little bit of turbulence here, it usually helps you to kind of catch or find your balance again. Just lift the torso and arms up. Breathe in. Open arm twist to the left, reach the right hand forward and the left hand back. Inhale, reach your right arm high. Left hand down the back leg. Right, huge breath in. Exhale, spin your back foot flat, expand it all open. Warrior two. And then just lengthen out the left leg. Left foot parallel to right. Big inhale to reach high. Huge exhale, heels in, toes out, bend the knees, horse stance. Right arm under left eagle arms this time. And so lift your elbows when you breathe in. And then hinge right from the hips to fold forward. Drop your pinkies and your head towards the earth. Trust that foundation in your feet and your legs, and just let the whole upper body release. Letting go of any internal tension in the upper back and the spine, your neck. Just enough effort to rise back up. Lift your elbows and the chest, inhale. And when you exhale, arms wide and then hands to the thighs, drop your hips even deeper. And just take a breath in here to send your chest forward. And an exhale to drop your left shoulder, look to the right. Inhale, come back to center. And then other side, drop. Right shoulder, look to the left. Back to center, turn your feet parallel, push down, reach high, inhale. Exhale, warrior two, left toes to the front. Expand. And reverse on your inhale, big side body stretch. And then let it all go, low plank. Exhale. All right, strong. Inhale, open. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Fill up your lungs completely, rise up to the balls of the feet. Empty out, bend the knees, pull your hips back, and just send your feet to your hands. Halfway lift, fill up, inhale. Forward fold, let it go, exhale. Bend your knees generously, push down, big toes, little toes, center of the heels. Belly button to spine, let your head stay heavy and hands stay heavy as you roll up to stand. So I'm just going to turn to face you for a tree pose variation. You can stay where you are or turn to face me. When you get up there, shift your weight into the right foot, and then your left foot's going to go anywhere except for the knee, right? Weight into the right foot, left foot, anywhere except for your knee. Really make the connection of foot to leg and leg to foot first. And push the two together. We'll start hands together, heart center. Take 3 full breaths. And then you can either stay where you are or next inhale, reach the arms way up high. And when you exhale, lower the left hand towards the left leg and reach the right arm up and over. And if you're doing that, try not to resist the left leg, but instead soften your left elbow, soften through the left shoulder. And just kind of bending into it, yeah. And hips forward, lift your chest away from the hips. Make just enough effort to come back to center, reach up high, breathe in. This time when you exhale, eagle pose, left leg up and over the right, left arm underneath the right. And you can give yourself a hug. Backs of the hands or palms of the hands together. And try to squeeze thighs together. And then send the hip bones forward, tailbone down, lift your chest up. Make just enough effort to unwind the legs, plant the feet. Push into the feet, release the arms. Yeah. Nice big inhale, reach up, stretch. And exhale, hands back to heart center. Same thing, other side, tree pose. And shift into the left foot, right foot, anywhere except for the knee. And I really do mean that, putting the ball of your foot down on the ground if you're feeling wobbly, I believe has more purpose. You're going to get more out of that than if you grab onto a wall or a chair or something like that. Little pelvic tilt, hip bones forward, tailbone down. Full deep breath. You can stay here or reach the arms high, breathe in. And then maybe right arm down to the right, left arm up and over to the right. Breathe. And next time you inhale, come back to center, arms up high. Exhale, right leg up and over the left, bend both knees. Right arm underneath the left, eagle pose. Hips forward, tailbone down, chest up high. Unwind your legs, push into both feet. And then unwind the arms. Take a full inhale to reach wide and high. And exhale to bring hands right back in to heart center. And push into the feet. Take a breath in. Reach your arms up. When you exhale, hinge from the hips, fold all the way forward. Halfway lift, big full inhale. And high to low plank, exhale. Up dog, breathe in. And down dog, breathe out. So right leg high when you inhale. And this time set up for half pigeons. You're gonna bring the right knee towards the right wrist and your ankle towards the left wrist. But we're not going all the way in. So right knee towards the right wrist, ankle kind of moves towards the left, untuck your left toes. And then just drop your right hip down. So you do that little shift to the right hip down. Take the left leg and swing it all the way up and over the right leg. So you're aiming for left ankle on top of your right knee and left knee on top of your right ankle, which probably means take your right ankle and pull it forward so that your right shin is parallel to the front of the mat. And then your left shin is right on top of the right shin, parallel to the front of the mat. Even if your left knee is up high, see if you can set it up just like that. And then you can remove any flesh from underneath your seat. So you're sitting up on your bones a little higher. And take a big breath in from there. Reach your arms out wide. And then when you exhale, eagle arms, left arm underneath the right arm. All right, you can give yourself a hug or backs of the hands or palms of the hands together. Inhale, lift your elbows and chest. And when you exhale, fold forward. And maybe there's tightness here, tension, stress in the body. For just 5 breaths, practice letting it go, dropping deeper into that fold. If it feels good to just release the bind in the arms, great. And soften in the hips. Drop your chest. Rather than tightening and swirling and holding on to the internal tension or stress, right? We just practice. Release it. Any physical tension, right? Just seeing if you can let it go and drop in a little deeper. And take just enough effort to lift your chest back up. If the arms are still bound, unwind. Shift over to your right hip and your right hand and swing that left leg all the way back and around again. So again, it looks like you're setting up for half pigeon, except this time tuck your left toes under and just push straight back to downward facing dog. And kind of reset here, straight back to down dog. Push your hands down and forward, pull the hips up and back, take big full breath. Inhale, left leg high. And when you exhale, like you're setting up for half pigeon, left knee towards the left wrist, the ankle towards the right. I'm going to drop the hips straight down for a moment, untuck the right toes. And then shift over onto the left hip and left hand and swing your right leg up and over. Full pigeon or double pigeon variation. So again, set it up. Take that time to pull your left shin forward so it's parallel to the front of the mat. If your left heel is kind of in towards your bum, you lose a lot of the stretch. Right ankle over left knee. Right knee kind of hovering, or maybe it's all the way down on top of the left ankle. And sit right up on the bones. Take a breath in, lift your chest, arms wide. And exhale, eagle arms, right arm underneath the left. Right, hug back to the hands or palms of the hands together. Fill up your lungs, just lift the elbows. And exhale, empty, fold. And I breathe into almost through any tightness. So imagine any part of the body that feels uncomfortable here. Imagine when someone's kind of breaking apart, those muscles softening until that sensation releases. Rather than trying to I'm gonna force myself to move through it. And we just exhale, soften, surrender. Maybe that is the way through. And just enough effort again to lift your elbows up, your chest up. Unwind through the arms. Shift over to the left hip and your left hand. Swing the right leg all the way back and around. Big inhale, lift the hips slightly, lift the chest. And then huge exhale, plant the hands and push back, downward facing dog. And a big full breath in, rise up to the balls of the feet. Exhale, bend the knees, pull the hips way back. And then any way you want to get to a seated position, and step, float your way through. When you get there, bend your knees, plant your feet, belly button to spine, and just slowly come down onto your back for bridge pose, one extended bridge pose. So plant your heels down on the ground and try to extend your toes straight forward from your heels. Take your hands and reach them all the way down toward your heels. And you just adjust your body so hopefully you can just barely touch your heels with your fingertips. And once you get into that space, push into the center of the heels. Firm up the backs of your legs as you lift your hips, middle back and upper back up. And then rotate your thighs in towards each other and actually see if you can release the backs of the legs. So I asked you to firm up the backs of the legs first to kind of feel what that feels like. Now, can you rotate the thighs in and release the backs of the legs? Sometimes it's like it clicks and sometimes it doesn't, but just kind of give it a go. Yeah, push into the hands, lift the hips a little higher. Release the glutes and the backs of the legs. And if you want, you can shimmy one shoulder or both underneath you, interlace fingers. If you do that, push the forearms down. So lift the hips a little higher, yeah. Release the glutes. You know what I was going to say, release the glutes. Big full breath in, push into the heels, lift the hips. And when you exhale, just slowly lower down onto the mat. And either right where you are, you can extend your legs straight up to the sky. Or if you have a wall space nearby, go ahead and take yourself to that wall space. And you can bring one hip to the wall and then slide both legs up the wall. And arms down by the sides here. So either legs up the imaginary wall in the middle of the room on your mat, or bring yourself to an actual wall, legs up the wall. If you're at the wall, I invite you to actually end your practice, take your final rest here, unless that becomes a space where you feel like you're fighting the stress and tension. And then you can come back to a more traditional Shavasana. If your legs are up the imaginary wall in the center of the room, I invite you to bring the bottoms of your feet together. Let your knees flop open. You just lower your baby toes towards the earth, bottoms of the feet together, knees flop open. Applying the bound angle. Wherever you landed, take 3 full breaths out. Don't worry about the inhales, just focus on that. Release and let go. Let's do that 2 more times. Whatever a full exhale and release looks like for you. And if you're not sure, you can explore different things. My favorite sono is just like that horse sound, like the, for whatever reason, like I do that and I feel like I've released. I've arrived. I've let go. Whatever works for you. And again, if you're not sure, you can explore a few different things. Ah. And then if you're not in a position that feels like a final rest for you, that feels like you can completely let go, go ahead and shift your position. Maybe traditional Shavasana, right? Lengthen the legs, feet flop open, palms face up. And maybe a comfortable seat. So take the time to find a position that feels like a rest. Take one final, just let it go, exhale. And then after that, you have no responsibilities at all. Just let yourself be. With your eyes closed and your body still, just notice if any sort of thoughts or physical sensations, tension have creeped up. And if they have anything that you wish to let go of, again, when you exhale, see if you can simply just like, see you later. And maybe never, right? Let it go. And then take just enough effort to make your way up to a comfortable seat. And as always, if it feels like authentic to you, if it makes sense to you, hands to heart center, take that moment to acknowledge self and others, to see each other and yourself. My children's alarm is going off as always, which means that it is time. Happy. How do I turn this off? Friday. I can't get the recording off. It's like going to be forever with me fiddling over here. There we go. Stop.